Good morning, everyone. So we're here at the cemetery visiting Junior today. I have Giselle with me over there. So my vlog today, it's gonna be about Junior. I've been getting a lot of people asking me questions and wanting to know who he was and stuff. And so I decided to do a special vlog in memory of him. So I get questions asked. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. I was just having some difficulties with the cell phone. So, like I was saying, people keep on asking me who Alejandro is. Like, why he got famous, what's going on, like, what did he do? So, Alejandro Vargas Jr., known as Ale by his friends, because I know him by Junior, he was killed on June 30th, 2019. He was on the way to the movies with his friends, which was Ryder, Danya, and Jackie. That day, he was skating in the morning with Ryder over there by Taco Bell off of Niles in Vallarta. I was supposed to go pick him up and bring him home. But at the end of that, he called me and told me that he wanted to skate longer with Ryder and he would come home when he was done skating. So then I went ahead and let him skate for a while longer, and then I texted him and I told him to come home. This is around 4:30ish in the afternoon, maybe 5ish. He came home, gave me a hug, told me, "Mom, I'm home. We're not gonna skate no more. We're gonna be in the room for a little while." And then a little bit later, he comes out and he asks me if they could go to the movies. And I told him no, they could not go to the movies because I didn't have no money on me and I was not going to drive them to the movies. And then Ryder turned around and he's like, "It's okay, Mom, don't worry about it. I have money for us to go to the movies." And so then I went ahead and told them, "Okay, fine then. You guys could go to the movies, but I'm not taking you guys," thinking that Junior was going to say, "Okay, we're not going to go." But then Junior turned around and said, "It's okay, Mom. We'll get the bus like we always do." And then I told Junior and Ryder, "Okay, fine then. I'll let you guys go to the movies. Go ahead and get the bus. When the movie is over, just call me and I'll go pick you guys up." And then right after that, they went into the room. They got ready and went to the restroom, brushed their teeth, combed their hair, put on cologne like they were going to some party. They stinked up my house. And then they were leaving. And Ryder said, "Bye, Mom." And I told him bye. And then here comes Alejandro behind him and said, "Bye, Mom. I'll call you later." And I told him, "Okay, son." I go, "Be careful, you guys." And they're like, "We will." I'm like, "Okay." I go, "Love you, Junior." And he's like, "Love you too, Mom." I go, "Call me when the movie's over and I'll go pick you guys up because it's going to be late." And he's like, "Okay, Mom. Bye. I love you." And he closed the door and walked out of the house. I sat down on the couch. I was watching a movie when maybe 45 minutes later, my phone rings and I saw it was Ryder. I answer the call and I could hear him crying. And I could hear his voice. And he's like, Mom, Ale. And I go, what's wrong with Ale? I go, what's wrong with Junior? And he's like, he got hit, Mom, he got hit. And I told her, Ryder, stop fucking around and stop joking. That's not a joke. And he's like, I'm not joking, Mom, I'm not joking. Ale got hit. And I'm like, where are you guys at? I panicked. I was screaming. And he told me, we're on Niles. I looked at my nephew and I told him, let's go. And he's like, what happened? I go, let's just fucking go. We have to leave. He's like, let me get my shoes. I go, we don't have time for shoes. I ran out of the house. I jumped in my car. I drove down the street, not knowing where to go. Called Ryder again and asked them where they were at. And he told me right by Sonic. I turned, made a U-turn, drove over there. And parked my car. Got off the car. I left it running. And I saw my son laying in the street. I was screaming, what happened? I ran to him. I wanted to pick him up, but they wouldn't let me. There was a lot of people around him. I was yelling out his name. I was telling him to wake up. His eyes were looking straight up the sky. And it was just so hard. I was talking to him. Then I panicked. And I removed myself from him. And I ran. And I was screaming. And saying, why this happened? And I was yelling and see if anybody dialed 911. And they were on the phone with them. I felt like they were never showing up. It felt like they were not coming. And I couldn't go back to Junior. I couldn't go back to where he was at. My body froze. The next thing I remember is someone telling me that to go talk to him, to let him know I was there with him. I snapped out of it and I went to go to Junior and I kneeled down. I gave him a kiss and I told him I was there, and I told him to fight, not to go, because he was a fighter. And the fire department showed up and they took me away from him. And I was just screaming and jumping and screaming and yelling out his name.
And Ryder came up to me. He gave me a big ol' hug. And he's like, Mom, why this happened? Why this happened? And I told him, I don't know, son. And he's like, I tried saving him, Mom. I tried saving him. I took off my shirt. I tried to stop the bleeding, Mom. Try to stop. And I'm like, it's okay, son. You did your best. You did your best. Don't worry. Everything's going to be okay. Junior's going to be okay. He's a fighter. He's a fighter. He's going to be okay. And then I picked up my head. And I saw the fire department doing CPR on him. I started screaming. I started yelling. Because at that moment, I knew what that meant. Someone came up to me and told me, it's okay, it's normal, they have to do CPR. And I looked at her and I yelled at the lady and I told her, it's not fucking normal. I work in the medical field. I know what CPR means. I go, so get the fuck away from me. Don't touch me. Let me go be with my son. And they wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me go with him. And then the police officer came up to me and told me that they're going to take him to KMC, to the hospital. That my best option was for me to go over there and meet the ambulance. So I started calling my family, my mom, my dad. I called my niece, my sister. I called their dad. I called Alvin. And I was just screaming and yelling and telling everybody to meet me at the hospital. Not to ask questions, just drive to the hospital, drive to the hospital. They had to do with Junior. Somehow, throughout that moment, I called a couple of my coworkers. I have no idea how. I don't remember. Then from there, I went blank. I don't remember much anymore. I got to the hospital. They tried to calm me down. They tried to tell me everything was okay, for me not to worry about it. And I yelled at them and I told them it's not okay. I know my son was not going to make it, especially with them doing CPR. And they were not letting me go in with Ryder. And I looked at the people and I told him, he's my son. Just because he's white doesn't mean he's not my son. I go, he's my son and he's staying with me. He's not moving my sight. So they went ahead and put me in a room until I got update and got information about what was going on. And then Alvin and his dad showed up. And then my mom and my dad, my coworker, we were all in the room just waiting anxiously to find out what was going on. And then a nurse came in to give us an update, to tell us that the doctor's in the room with Junior and they're working on him. And as soon as they find something out, they'll come back and give us some information. I'm not sure how long passed after that. When the door opened again, and it was the doctor. I picked up my head. I saw his face. I saw his eyes. he walked in and said, "Who's the mother of Alejandro?" And I looked at him and I said it was me. And he walked towards me. And I already knew. He didn't have to tell me. He kneeled down, grabbed me by the hands, and said, "We tried everything, but unfortunately, we couldn't save him." I looked at him and I told him, "Tell me you're lying. Tell me you're lying. Tell me I could go see my son. Tell me I could go see him." And he's like, "No, I'm sorry." I started screaming. I pushed the doctor out of my way and I ran out of the room. I don't remember anything after that. I blacked out. But what people told me by my friends and family was that I ran out of the hospital and I started screaming and yelling and telling them that he was gone, Junior was gone, Junior was gone. And that I hugged my coworker and I told her to tell me it was a lie, that it wasn't true. And she gave me a hug and told me, "Friend, I'm sorry, but it's true. He's gone." After that, like I said, everyone, I blacked out, so I don't know what really happened. So that's what happened the day of Alejandro's passing. Everybody keeps on asking me. Everybody wants to know the story. Everybody was hearing different versions. That is the version of what happened to when Junior got killed. He was crossing the street with his friends to get the bus to go to the movies. And unfortunately, the guy that hit him didn't see him. And he hit him and dragged him good sufficient amount that Ryder, Danya, and Jackie had to go screaming after the truck for him to stop. I'm not sure if he was planning to stop. I'm not sure if he wasn't. But you know what? He's the only one that knows anything. And I'm sad about what happened because my son got taken away from me. But you know what? God needed an angel. God wanted someone up in heaven, and he decided to take my son, my Alejandro, my Junior, known by Ale. So that is what happened the day of June 30th of 2019. So people out there keep on saying versions and keep on saying different things. That's not what happened. What happened is what I just told you guys. And it sucks because he was only fucking 13. He had a long life to live. And everybody wants to know how he got famous. Everybody wants to know why he went viral. Well, let me tell you guys, I don't even know how he got famous. I don't even know how my son went viral. I remember we were doing fundraisers to bury him, and the kids came up to me and they were like, Mom, listen to this, listen to this. And I'm like, what do you guys want me to listen to? And they're like, just listen to this song, listen to this song. And I'm like, okay. So then they played it, and it was Lucky Third making a song of Alejandro. I froze. I fell on the floor. I passed out when I heard the song. That was so amazing for a person to do that without knowing who the kid was, but knowing that that kid followed him. The kid, how they say it, they fucked with his music. Junior reached out to him many times, I guess, you know, asking him for how to post things and stuff like that, because I have Junior's Instagram account and I saw his messages. And I remember Junior would listen to his music at the house. So when the whole song came out and everything, but before that, Junior's Instagram account went from like 2,000 and something to like close to 40,000, 50,000, like within a month before that song came out. And turned out to be that Junior was an amazing kid, not just because I'm his mom and I'm saying it, but because he was that kid with the big smile. He was that kid that loved to make new friends. He was that kid that when he put something on his mind and wanted to accomplish it, he would do it. He would not stop until he got it done. And he loved to skateboard. He loved to play football. He did basketball, soccer. He was an outgoing kid, an active kid. So he made friends right away. So he was known everywhere. And so, yeah, that's how Junior got famous, for being himself, for being who he was, for always being nice and having that big heart. I'm not going to say he was perfect, because nobody's perfect in this world. And people coming up to me and messaging me and telling me, oh, you let your son smoke. Oh, what type of mom are you for letting your son smoke? No, I did not let my son smoke. Junior knew the consequences if I would have found out if he was smoking. Unfortunately, he kept it as a secret and he did not get caught. I found out of him smoking after he passed away. So no, I did not let my son smoke. So you guys out there, stop saying that I let my son smoke, because I did not let my son smoke or vape or anything like that. The other thing is, Junior was raised in Lamont. He went to Sunset, where he made a lot of friends and had a lot of friends. And I made the decision to move to Bakersfield, and he started coming to school at Stern, where he became a popular kid. Before he went to Stern, he already had friends from that school, because we moved in that area and he didn't go to that school for at least like a year afterwards that we moved there. And but Junior just was that kid that loved to make friends. As Junior was growing up, he wasn't always a popular kid. In elementary, Junior got picked on. In elementary, he got bullied. As growing up, he learned how to defend himself. He learned how to stop the bullying. But at the same time, there was points in his life where he couldn't take it. He couldn't handle the bullying. And as he grew up and went to junior high, it got worse. And it got to the point where Junior became a cutter. And when I found out about it, I right away jumped on it, got him help, took him to counseling, and encouraged him not to do it anymore, which I'm glad he stopped. And he got the help he needed. So Junior was that kid that was so against bullying. And if he would see someone get bullied or get picked on, or someone doing something to his brothers or his sister or anything like that, he would jump to it right away. And he would try to do his best to put a stop to it. Because Junior hated people that would bully other kids. Junior was a big-hearted kid. And if there was someone with special needs, he would always help them out. And if he saw that there were someone picking on that kid or someone doing something to him, he would defend them. He would do his best to do what he can to help them stop. The other thing is, Junior was that kid that always wanted to help out people. Always wanted to be there for his friends and for people that he didn't know. He struggled as growing up. I was in a domestic violence relationship. And Junior and Alvin, Ulises and Giselle got to see and got to live a domestic violence relationship. Not with their dad, but with someone else. So Junior knew the feeling of being in that type of relationship. So he wasn't that type of kid that was mean to girls. He loved being with girls. He loved helping them out. He loved doing things with them and stuff. And as he grew up, he used his lifestyle to become the person he was. And at the end of the day, he had a big heart. And he was an amazing kid. He was an amazing son. He was an amazing brother. And so that's how Junior was. That's how people knew him. And that's how he got famous. That's how he went viral, for being himself, for being who he was. He was just Alejandro Vargas Jr., the 13-year-old kid that went to Stern and went to Sunset. And it's crazy how a lot of people out there are hating on him and talking on him when they didn't even know him. And they don't even know how bad it affects his family by you guys doing what you're doing. But I know one day it's gonna stop. But my son is up in heaven, enjoying life without pain, and watching over every single one of us down here. Especially his family, his close friends, and the people that love and support him. So that's how my son went viral. That's how my son went famous, for being who he was. And my understanding, he had lots of friends on social media that he would message and he would talk to, he would send pictures to, because I got those messages. They would screenshot it and send it to me as proof that they were friends of Junior. Junior would always tell me, Mom, one day I'm going to buy you your house. Mom, one day I'm going to be famous. Mom, I'm going to be the next big thing. Mom, I want to do a YouTube channel. I want to clean shoes. I want to figure out a way how to keep my shoes clean, because that kid had tons of shoes. He always had them clean. Always did his best to look good. One way or another, he always wanted to look good. One way or another, that kid will make money to buy himself shoes, to buy himself clothes, his American Eagle pants, his Champion t-shirts, his Nikes, his Vans, his skateboard, sports. He would go work with his grandpa to make money. He would go cut the grass. He would clean up the house. He would sell chocolates. He would do whatever he can to help me out to buy him stuff that he wanted. So yeah, I'm gonna go right now. That's who Alejandro Vargas was. And when I took him to Venice Beach to go skating with the kids for our family trip, he was so happy. He was so excited. He was amazed because he skated his life out. He skated until the moment we got off the car, till the moment we got back in the car. He was so happy because he met so many new people at that park. And yeah, so that's who Alejandro was. He was my oldest son. He was 13 years old, who crossed the street, who got hit by a truck, who his life got taken away for it. And I'm just so amazed of all the help and support that I got from the community of Bakersfield, from his friends, from the family, from people I did not even know. I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciated for all of that. The community of Bakersfield came together and helped me bury my son. So that's who Alejandro was. And that's why he got famous, for being who he was. And thank you to all those good people out there that support us and love us. And I am doing my YouTube channel and everything in memory of my son, because that's what he wanted to do in life. And I'm going to keep on doing it as long as I can, with the help of my kids and the help of Esteban and the help of my family and friends. So if you guys like it, thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. If you guys don't like it, too bad, because I'm still going to keep on doing it. Alejandro wanted that, and we're going to keep on sharing it. Bye. I love you guys.
And press that like button, please.
And subscribe, comment, and turn on your notifications. And pretty soon we'll be having some more stuff. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of our little Junior, who he was and everything. Yes, what are you going to say?
I was going to say Junior wanted all that money so he could get girls for no reason.
Yeah, that's true. He always wanted those girls. The braces, Mom. For the girls, for the girls.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And last time, Mommy, remember when I had to wear that big white dress with my gloves and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Junior, since he was the oldest, he had to hold my hand like this. Mommy, give me your hand. So he was holding my hand like this.
Yes, he sure was. And he's always going to hold your hand.
Yeah.
And he's always going to be with you.
And me and my mom had the same nails.
Yeah, me and Giselle got our nails done. Well, this should be out of the picture, but yeah. So Junior would always say, Mom, always look good. Mom, go do your nails. Mom, go do your hair. Mom, go do this. Mom, go do that. He was just that funny.